What's going on, top producers? Alexander Fazelanigoes here, and today we're going to discuss something that I've been receiving a lot of requests for, which is what it's like to actually run two businesses and be an entrepreneur with your significant other, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But before we dive into that, I'm gonna need you to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that little notification bell so we can continuously bring this content to you every Tuesday and Friday for free 99. And as always, this is brought to you by Design for Agents and e-commerce geared to making sure you have what you need in your real estate business, whether it be marketing, branding, or organizing. You can check that out in the description below. So as I mentioned, I've been receiving a lot of requests about this because I've been an entrepreneur for about 9 to 10 years already. I've owned my own real estate practice. I've been a real estate agent, and I've also started an e-commerce company, and I was able to do that with my beautiful wife now. But obviously I'm a little biased with the situation, and my situation may not be similar to your situation. Babe, how long were we best friends before we got married? So we were friends for 12 years because me and my wife have been best friends for about 12 years before actually diving into a romantic relationship and actually getting married, right? So if you actually think about that, we've built a solid foundation first before even getting together. So that actually helped out a lot. And if you want to learn more about how we got into, together, that's a freaking video for another day. And if you want to learn a little more about that and you want to find out more, put a comment below saying, hey, I want to know. So obviously I want to break down what it's like, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm going to break it down into 2 sections. I'm not going to break it down into 3 sections just for the ease of this video. So it's going to be bad and ugly, and then the good. So let's dive into some of the bad parts about being an entrepreneur and doing it with your significant other, right? One thing is sometimes it's hard to shut off, right? So, we go on vacations, we go hiking, we do a bunch of awesome things that other couples do as well, but sometimes we're always talking about business, right? It's just something that we enjoy. It's kind of like a hobby, but also our job at the same time. So we kind of, sometimes always talk about business, so it doesn't really leave room for much else, right? I don't even know what normal people talk about, honestly. That is kind of where we kind of get stuck sometimes. We actually went on vacation once to Ireland, and we actually decided, hey, could we actually survive like 3 weeks without talking about business at all, right? And we actually survived 2 weeks, so we're still together and we still enjoy each other. So that's a great sign, which leads us to number 2, right? So the second thing where I feel like it could be hard is that we argue not about normal things. Normal couples argue about who's doing dishes, who did the laundry last, random things like that, right? We don't argue about that like nearly ever. Sometimes we do, like normal people, like we bicker, but it doesn't really happen, right? We usually argue more so about what's happening in our business. Hey, did you get that SkySlope file done? What's going on with this? Oh, you didn't even proofread this? What's going on, right? Like we argue about things that have to do with mainly business and not normal stuff, right? That people can, find joy in. Which leads us to number 3, which is sometimes this situation can amplify stress because we don't leave our workplace, right? So we kind of work together all the time and we're always together. So instead of like, oh, I'm leaving work at work and I'm coming home, that doesn't happen for us, right? So if there's a bad situation that's affecting both of us, we could, sometimes it could get really, really bad. And when things are really, really great, like, obviously we're both celebrating together. But on the other side, it can be very negative because it's hard to get out of that. But me and Amanda are very good at kind of, checking ourselves and, lifting ourselves out of that situation, which obviously I'm very grateful for because she is my best friend at the end of the day. So that's literally all the bad that I can think of in my particular situation. So let's dive right into the good, right? So there's so much good, and I'm probably gonna go through a huge list. But one thing I can say is that it's really, really fun, right? I get to work with my best friend every day. I get to, create and, deal with the ups and downs of business. And I have someone that I can rely on and kind of go through it with. And I think that has made us better communicators, right? We communicate really well on a business side. So how we communicate on our business side is also what we bring into our family. So it's easy for us to be like, hey, I'm feeling down, or I'm going through this. And, and we lift each other out, or we just listen to each other, which is great. We understand each other's strengths and weaknesses. So obviously this might not be something for everybody, because if you're like newer in a relationship, a lot of people don't know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Me and Amanda, because we have a strong foundation, we know that, hey, Alex is really good at follow-up. Alex is good at sales. Amanda's really good at Photoshop. She's really good at social media. So we're able to balance that really, really well. And sometimes we have talents that bleed into each other, so we're able to work with each other, which again is amazing. Another positive thing is that brainstorming becomes sexy, right? And I'm not even gonna get into that. It's awesome to see someone's brain like just explode with great ideas, or when we come up with great ideas together, it's like an aphrodisiac. And that, I'm just throwing it out there. The last good thing that I find about, you know, being in business with your significant other is it's the best accountability that you're gonna have, right? So obviously, a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with accountability. They go to work and there's nothing that's really driving them. I have my accountability literally in the next room. We gotta make it work if we're gonna go to Disney World this year, right? Like it's a collaboration that is way more intense and something that I would never trade for a world. So there you have it, guys. That is the good, the bad, and ugly of being an entrepreneur and also a business owner with your significant other. If you guys have a significant other that you work closely with, please let me know in the comments below. Share your story and what your experience has been like, what's your good, bads, and uglies. And again, this is brought to you by Design for Agents and e-commerce gear to making sure you have what you need as a real estate agent, whether it be marketing, branding, or organizing. You can learn more about that. And guys, keep it peaceful, right? And let love be love. I don't know why I said that, but I gotta get better at closing these videos.